How does the eviction process work?
Okay,
and let's maybe we could take like Gwinnett County specifically.
Yeah,
okay.
Gwinnett County's great.
Because
Love
that's a big
Gwinnett County.
one. Okay.
So it's very specific. So
Okay.
you have to follow a very specific process.
So like, where do you get the process?
Okay,
Where-
so it's called the dispossessory process,
Okay.
and you get it from Gwinnett County.
So
So the first thing you
every
do,
county has its own law. This is the way it works.
right?
Okay.
This is the way it works.
Okay.
Right? So, and I think they're uniform throughout every county.
Probably. I don't know. I should know that.
I think it is.
Being
I think
a
it is.
licensee. Yep.
So first of all, you have to give the tenant a 3-day notice to pay rent or quit.
Okay.
What that means is you need to bring your account up to date, or you need to quit possession of the property.
Okay. So pay rent or get out.
Pay
Okay.
rent or get out.
Okay.
So if they do not do one of those
How does
two,
that get delivered?
we can just mail it to them or email it to them.
Okay.
It just is regular notice. It doesn't have to be certified delivery.
So you don't have to like post it on the door?
You don't have to. No,
Okay.
it's just notice.
Okay.
And in Georgia, it's a little ambiguous. It just says notice. The law doesn't specifically require written notice for that portion of it, but we always just go with the written notice anyway.
Okay.
So it
And I
can't
would
just be
assume when you
verbal
start
notice.
this process, you really don't want to evict anyone.
No way.
I mean, your heart is, let's see how we can work this out, and if you'll just do what you're supposed to do, everything will be fine.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you send them the pay rent, no, dispossessory, pay rent or quit, then what happens? So they ignore it. So let's just
so
pretend
they ignore it.
Okay.
So then after they've ignored it, then I go to the courthouse
Okay.
and I file what's called a writ of dispossessory.
Okay.
So I fill out my forms and I give it. Then the sheriff has to deliver this form to the tenant.
Okay, so you're not going with the tenant. It's not a court date.
Nope.
You go fill it out, and the court delivers this, okay?
Yep, the court delivers it to the tenant. So once the tenant has received it, I get notice through the court systems, and they have 7 days to answer it.
Okay.
And their answer can be anything. Their answer can be, I like cotton
could be
candy.
blue.
It doesn't
Okay.
matter. So if they give an answer,
Okay.
then we get a court date. And that court date could be, it's normally within 7 to 10 business
So that's
days.
interesting. So if they answer, regardless of whether or not the answer makes any sense, you go to court.
Yep.
If they do not answer, then what does the court do?
If you do not answer, then I automatically can get my writ of possessory.
Okay.
Which means I can get that piece of paper, I can take it across the hall to the sheriff's office, and I can schedule the eviction.
Got it. So we've only got about 1 minute left in the segment. So what happens once we get that eviction?
I schedule with
No.
the sheriff. They could be 2 weeks out.
Okay.
You must wait for the sheriff to accompany you to the property
Okay.
to remove the items. And you
Okay.
have to have 2 people per bedroom
Okay.
that shows up with the sheriff,
Yep.
or else they will cancel the eviction.
Got it. And for those people who are listening who probably would like to invest in real estate, but they're kind of scared because they think they'll get a bad tenant, what percentage of the time do you have a bad tenant that just ruins the investment altogether?
Honestly, in the 8 years that I've been doing this,
Yep.
I've had 3.
3 bad tenants. But they didn't ruin the investment for the investor, right? I mean,
No, it
you
was
get
just-
rid of them, and then
right.
you have to get a new tenant and move on, and it winds up still being a
Oh,
good
no,
investment.
no, it's never ruined the investment.
And
No,
in
I'm sorry.
Georgia, courts are very landlord friendly. And this is not a
Absolutely.
bashing tenants. Michelle loves her tenants. I love the tenants. It's not a bashing tenants at all, but they tend to be very, very landlord friendly.